Hi. What you are about to witness is footage of a live stream of me playing Doki Doki Literature Club Plus. The way this works is, first of all, I'm gonna upload the original playthrough of the original game, and only after that are we gonna start on the side stories. Hope you enjoy Aspect being a fucking weep for like an hour straight. Except the video is like 30 minutes, but still. And if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to let me know with a like rating down below. Alright. I'm so excited. I literally cannot keep myself in. First of all, we got a sub. Game Company, thank you so much for subscribing with Twitch Prime. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Dude, you have no idea. I am literally, I'm shaking. Login. DDLC. I'm so excited. That music gives nostalgia, I agree. Please enter your name. Oh fuck, we need a name. Aspect-chan. Aspect-chan. Can we do it? We're doing it. I don't care. We're doing it. Oh my god, it's so HD! Hey! I see an annoying girl running toward me from the distance, waving her arms in the air like she's totally oblivious to any attention she might draw to herself. Aspect-san sounded better. Oh well. That girl is Sayuri, my neighbor and good friend since we were children. You know, the kind of friend you'd never see yourself making today, but it just kind of works out because you've known each other for so long. An annoying girl is Aspect! We used to walk to school together on days like this, but starting around high school, she would oversleep more and more frequently and I would get tired of waiting up. But she's going to chase after me like this, I almost feel better off running away. However, I just sign idle in front of the crosswalk and let Sayuri catch up to me. I overslept again. But I caught you this time. Maybe, but only because I decided to stop and wait for you. You say that like you were thinking about ignoring me. That's mean, Aspect. What have I done? Well, if people stare at you for acting weird, then I don't want them to think we're a couple or something. Fine. But you did wait for me after all. I guess you don't have it in you to be mean, even if you want to. Whatever you say, Sayuri. I can't do the giggles, I just can't do them. We cross the street together and make our way to school. As we draw near, the streets become increasingly speckled with other students making their way to their daily commute. I can't speak today, I'm sorry. By the way, Aspect-chan, have you decided on a club to join yet? A club? I told you already, I'm really not interested in joining any clubs. Hentai club. I haven't been looking either. That's not true. You told me you would join a club this year, did I? I'm sure it's possible that I did, in one of our many conversations where I dismissively go along with whatever she's going on about. Sayuri likes to worry a little too much about me when I'm perfectly content about getting by on the average while spending my free time on games and anime. I was talking about how I'm worried that you won't learn how to socialize or have any skills before college. Your happiness is really important to me, you know? And I know you're happy now, but I'd die at the thought of you becoming in need in a few years because you're not used to the real world. You trust me, right? Don't make me keep worrying about you. Alright. I'll look at a few clubs if it makes you happy. No promises though. Will you at least promise me you'll try a little? Yeah, I guess I'll promise you that. Yay! Why do I let myself get lectured by such a carefree girl? More than that, I'm surprised I even let myself relent to her. I guess seeing her worry so much about me makes me want to ease her mind at least a little bit, even if she does exaggerate everything inside of her head. The school day is as ordinary as ever, and it's over before I know it. After I pack up my things, I stare blankly at the wall, looking for an ounce of motivation. Clubs. Sayuri wants me to check out some clubs. I guess I have no choice but to start with the anime club. The only moment you actually enjoy going to school is in DLC. Very true. I mean, I also like just finished regular school. I'm currently waiting for my results for my exams to see if I graduated or not. And after that, I'm gonna go to college, which is gonna be a lot more fun because I'm gonna have people there that actually have like the same interests as me, not people that just want to kill me. Me who has theory exams tomorrow and still hasn't studied. Oh no! Also, I didn't really say this, but because I never really did a playthrough of the original Doki Doki on this channel, I will play through the original Doki Doki for the people that haven't seen it or played it when the original game came out. So yeah, I will do a playthrough of the original Doki Doki and then also the side stories. The side stories is what I'm mainly excited about because that's also going to be new for me. Hello? Sayuri? Sayuri must have come into the classroom while I was spacing out. I look around and realize that I'm the only one left in the classroom. I thought I would catch you coming out of the classroom, but I saw you just sitting here and spacing out, so I came in. Honestly, you're even worse than me sometimes. I'm impressed. You don't need to wait up for me if it's gonna make you late for your own club. Well, I thought you might need some encouragement, so I thought, you know what? Well, that you could come to my club. Sayuri, yeah? There's no way I'm going to your club. Meanie. Sayuri's vice president of the literature club. Not that I was ever aware that she had any interest in literature. In fact, I'm 99% sure she only did it because she thought it would be fun to help start a new club. Since she was the first one to show interest after the one who proposed the club, she inherited the title of vice president. That said, my interest in literature is guaranteed to be even less. Yeah, I'm going to the anime club. Come on, please. Why do you care so much anyway? Well, I kinda told the club yesterday I would bring in a new member. And Natsuki made cupcakes and everything. Don't make promises you can't keep. I can't tell if Sayuri is really that much of an airhead or if she's cunning as to have planned all of this out. Probably the second one. Fine, I'll stop by for a cupcake, okay? Yes, let's go! And thus, today marks the day I sold my soul for a cupcake. That is not selling your soul. That is making a wise investment. I dejectedly follow Sayuri across the school and upstairs, a section of the school I rarely visit. Sayuri, full of energy, swings open the classroom door. Everyone, the new member is here. I told you, don't call me a new member. Eh? I glance around the room. Girl 1. Welcome to the literature club. It's a pleasure meeting you. Sayuri always says nice things about you. Seriously, you brought a boy? Hello, Natsuki. Long time no see. Way to kill the atmosphere. Ah, Aspect-chan. What a nice surprise. I'm starting to regret the name more and more, I'm not gonna lie. Do you think that there is new stuff in the game files to add to the lore? I don't think there is. I'm not gonna lie, I watched a tiny bit of Biju Mike's video. I watched like the first 5 minutes, and he said something about... Because this game is also out on like PlayStation and consoles, and like Nintendo Switch and whatnot. So apparently, there's no like Easter eggs in the actual game files anymore. But there's like a different way to access them. Ah, Aspect-chan, what a nice surprise. Welcome to the club. All words escape me in this situation. This club is full of incredibly cute girls. What are you looking at? If you want to say something, say it. Okay, fine. You want me to say it? Sayuri, no, Natsuki, you are adorable. There, I said it. You happy now? The girl with a sour attitude, whose name's apparently Natsuki, yeah, apparently, no idea who that is one I don't recognize. Her small figure makes her look like a first-year student. She also has sweat dropping down her cheek. You can just ignore her when she gets moody. Sayuri says that quietly into my ear, then turns back towards the other girls. Anyway, this is Natsuki, always full of energy. And this is Yuri, the smartest in the club. Don't say things like that. Yuri, who appears comparably more mature and timid, seems to have a hard time keeping up with people like Sayuri and Natsuki. Ah, well, it's nice to meet both of you. And it sounds like you already know Monika, is that right? That's right. It's great to see you again, Aspect-chan. Monika smiles sweetly. We do know each other. Well, we rarely talk, but we were in the same class last year. Monika was probably the most popular girl in class. Smart, beautiful, athletic, hot as hell. Basically completely out of my league. So having her smile at me so genuinely feels a little... You too, Monika. Come sit down, Aspect-chan. We made room for you at the table, so you can sit next to me or Monika. I'll get the cupcakes. Hey, I made them, I'll get them. Sorry, I got a little too excited. Then how about I make some tea as well? What are you, British? I'm sorry. The girls have a few desks arranged to form a table. As Sayuri mentioned, it's been widened... What? As Sayuri mentioned, it's been widened so that there is one space next to Monika and one space next to Sayuri. Natsuki and Yuri walk over to the corner of the room, where Natsuki grabs a wrapped tray and Yuri opens a closet. Still feeling awkward, I take a seat next to Sayuri. Natsuki proudly marches back to the table, tray in hand. Okay, are you ready? Ta-da! Whoa! Natsuki lifts the foil of the tray to reveal a dozen white, fluffy cupcakes decorated to look like little cats. The whiskers are drawn with icing, and little pieces of chocolate were used to make ears. So cute! I had no idea you were so good at baking, Natsuki. Well, you know, just hurry and take one. Sayuri grabs one first, then Monika. I follow. It's delicious! Dude, this reminds me, I actually tried to make like... I had to make a cupcake for school once as like some sort of assignment. I came with the idea to try and make these cupcakes. And we actually did, because we didn't have exactly like a formation for the cats. So we had to just use our imagination. So the cats were like the weakest points. So some of them looked really bad because we were a 4-man crew and only one of us knew how to make the cats properly, which also happened to be a girl. I turned the cupcake around in my fingers, looking at the best angle to take a bite. Natsuki is quiet. I can't help but notice her sneaking glances in my direction. Is she waiting for me to take a bite? I mean, okay, to be fair, if I was to take a cupcake and then hold it in my hand, like looking at it around, people would probably think that, like, you know, I just think that it doesn't look tasty. But then again, it's a cupcake. They're automatically tasty. Finally bite down. The icing is sweet and full of flavor. I wonder if she made it herself. This is really good. Thank you, Natsuki. Why are you thanking me? It's not like I haven't heard this somewhere before. Made them for you or anything. Eh? I thought you technically did. Sayuri said, well, maybe, but not for you. You know, you, dummy. Alright. I give up on Natsuki's weird logic and dismiss the conversation. Natsuki doesn't have logic, she has cuteness. Yuri returns to the table, carrying a tea set. She carefully places a teacup in front of each of us, before setting down the teapot next to the cupcake tray. You keep a whole tea set in the classroom? Don't worry, the teachers gave us permission. After all, doesn't a hot cup of tea help you enjoy a good book? Nah, dude, only if you're British, but British people don't read books. I'm sorry. I'll stop with the British jokes. I feel like a racist now. Don't let yourself get intimidated. Yuri's just trying to impress you. That's not... Insulted. Yuri looks away. I meant that, you know, I believe you. Well, tea and reading might not be a pastime for me, but I at least enjoy tea. I'm glad. Monica raises an eyebrow, then smiles at me. So, what do you consider the literature club? What? That's not what it said at all. So what made you consider the literature club? I can't read today. Oh, I just opened Windows on my second monitor. I was afraid of this question. Something tells me I shouldn't tell Monica that I was practically dragged here by Sayuri. Well, I haven't really joined any clubs yet, and Sayuri seemed really happy here, so that's okay. Don't be embarrassed. We'll make sure you feel right at home, okay? As president of the literature club, it's my duty to make the club fun and exciting for everyone. Monica, I'm surprised. How come you decided to start your own club? You could probably be a board member for any of the major clubs. Weren't you a leader of the debate club last year? Well, you know, to be honest, I can't stand all the politics around the major clubs. It's like nothing but arguing about the budget and publicity and how to prepare for events. I'd much rather take something I personally enjoy and make something special out of it. That's kind of what I do with like video editing, to be honest. Like I just enjoy making videos, right? So I just take that and I just do it in whatever way I want, you know? If it encourages others to get into literature, then I'm fulfilling that dream. Monica really is a great leader. Yuri also nods in agreement. That I'm surprised there aren't more people in the club yet. It must be hard to start a new club. You could put it that way. Not many people are very interested in putting out all the effort to start something brand new. Especially when it's something that doesn't grab your attention, like literature. You have to work hard to convince people that you're both fun and worthwhile. But it makes school events like the festival that much more important. I'm confident that we all really grow this club before we graduated. Yeah, we'll do our best. You know it. Everyone enthusiastically agrees. Such different girls are interested in the same goal. Monica must have worked really hard just to find these three. Maybe that's why they're also delighted by the idea of a new member joining. Though I still don't really know if I can keep up with their level of enthusiasm about literature. So, Aspect-chan, what kind of things do you like to read? Well, considering how little I've read these past few years, I really don't have a good way of answering that. Manga. I muttered quietly to myself, half joking. Natsuki's head suddenly perks up. It looks like she wants to say something, but she keeps quiet. Not much of a reader, I guess. Well, that can change. What am I saying? I spoke without thinking after seeing Yuri's sad face. Anyway, what about you, Yuri? Well, let's see. Yuri traces the rim of her teacup with her finger. My favorites are usually novels that build deep and complex fantasy worlds. The level of creativity and craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me, and telling a good story in such a foreign world is equally impressive. Yuri goes on, clearly passionate about her reading. She seems so reserved and timid since the moment I walked in, but it's obvious by the way her eyes light up that she finds her comfort in the world of books, not people. But you know, I like a lot of things. Stories with deep psychological elements usually immerse me as well. Isn't it amazing how a writer can so deliberately take advantage of your own lack of imagination to completely throw you in for a loop? Fuck! You got me. Anyway, I've been reading a lot of horror lately. I read a horror book once. I desperately grasped something I can relate to at a minimal level. Danganronpa. At this rate, Yuri might as well be having a conversation with a rock. Really? I wouldn't have expected that, Yuri. For someone as gentle as you. I guess you could say that. But if a story makes me think, or it takes me to another world, then I really can't put it down. So real horror is often very successful at changing the way you look at the world, if only for brief moments. Ugh, I hate horror. Oh? What's that? Well, Natsuki's eyes dart over to me for a split second. Never mind. That's right. You usually like to write about cute things, don't you, Natsuki? What? What gives you that idea? You also had a piece of scrap paper behind the last club meeting. It looks like you were working on a poem called Don't say it out loud! And give that back. Fine, fine. Your cupcakes, your poems, everything you do is just as cute as you are. Sari settles up behind Natsuki and puts her hands on her shoulders. I'm not cute! Natsuki, you write your own poems? Eh? Well, I guess sometimes. What do you care? I think that's impressive. Why don't you share them sometime? No! Natsuki averts her eyes. You wouldn't like them. Not a very confident writer yet. I understand how Natsuki feels. Sharing that level of writing takes more than just confidence. The truest form of writing is writing to oneself. You must be willing to open up to your readers, exposing your vulnerabilities and showing even the deepest reaches of your heart. Do you have writing experience too, Yuri? Maybe if you share some of your work, you can set an example and help Natsuki feel more comfortable enough to share hers. I guess it's the same for Yuri. Aw, I wanted to read everyone's poems. We'll sit in silence for a moment. Okay, I have an idea, everyone. Natsuki and Yuri look quizzically at Monika. Let's all go home and write a poem of our own. The next time we meet, we'll all share them with each other. That way, everyone is even. Yeah, let's do it. Plus, now that we have a new member, I think it will help us get a little more comfortable with each other and strengthen the bond of the club. Isn't that right, Aspect-chan? Monika smiles warmly at me once again. Hold on, there is still one problem. Eh? What's that? Now that we're back to the original topic of me joining the club, I bluntly come forth with what's been on my mind the entire time. I never said I would join this club. How dare you? Let's just assume this game is POV, right? So, we're like seeing this game through the eyes of the main character. So he's currently looking at these 4 girls. He's looking at them, fully embracing them, and he's like, yeah, I don't think I'm gonna join this club. So Yuri may have convinced me to stop by, but I never made any decision. I still have other clubs to look at, and I lose my train of thought. All 4 girls stare back at me with dejected eyes. But, I'm sorry, I thought, Aspect-chan, I'm defenseless against these girls. How am I supposed to make a clear-headed decision when it's like this? This guy is fucking short then. True. That is, if writing poems is the price I need to pay in order to spend every day with these beautiful girls. Right. Okay, I've decided then. I'll join the literature club. One by one, the girl's eyes light up. Yes! I'm so happy! Sayori wraps her arms around me, jumping up and down. Well, she definitely has ADHD. Hey! You really did scare me for a moment. If you really just came for the cupcakes, I would be super pissed. That is true, to be fair. Then that makes it official. Welcome to the literature club. Thanks, I guess. Okay, everyone. I think with that, we can officially end today's meeting on a good note. Everyone, remember tonight's assignments. Write a poem to bring the next meeting so we can all share. Monika looks over at me once more. Aspect-chan, I look forward to seeing how you express yourself. Yeah. Can I really impress the class star Monika with my mediocre writing skills? No, because I want to impress everyone but Monika. I already feel the anxiety welling up inside me. Meanwhile, the girls continue to chit-chat as Yuri and Natsuki clean up their food. Hey Aspect-chan, since we're already here, do you want to walk home together? That's right. Yuri and I never walk home together anymore because she always stayed for the after school for clubs. Sure, might as well. Yay! With that, the two of us depart the club room and make our way home. The whole way, my mind wanders back and forth between the 4 girls. Sayuri, Natsuki, Yuri, and of course Monika. Will I really be happy spending every day of school in a literature club?
Yes.
Perhaps I'll have the chance to grow closer to one of these girls. Alright, I'll just need to make the most of my circumstances, and I'm sure good fortune will find me. And I guess that starts with writing a poem tonight. It's time to write a poem. Pick words you think your favorite club members will like. Something good might happen with whoever likes your poem the most. Why is Monica not there? What if Monica's my favorite? So who do we write a poem for, chat? Who do we target? I don't know. I mean, I like all of them. That's the thing. Like, I can never pick a favorite in Doki Doki because fucking hell, I like all of them. Yuri? You know what? Fuck it. Let's just try and do Yuri. It's gonna be hard, but also I love this remix. Oh, Dream, guys, Dream.
Stare at his nutsack while I hold back when I come tonight.
Alright, Death. Oh, this is gonna be hard. Sheer, no, that's more Sayuri. Daydream is also more Sayuri. Treasure. Tragedy? Imagination? Fear? No, that's Sayuri. Oh yeah, of course, because she was depressed. Heartbeat. Infinite? Oh, okay, so she likes the more deep words. Vitality? Papa? Oh, fuck. Intellectual, uncontrollable, Doki Doki. That's Natsuki? Why? That should be all of them. Massacre, extreme, frightening, determination, depression, no, uncanny. I'm doing good on this. Philosophy. Whoa, 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 what is that?
Justos 25 DR pepper for Trevor.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the 1 bit. I appreciate it. Unrequited? What does that even mean? Melancholy? I did it. Hi again, Aspect-chan. Glad to see you didn't run away on us. Nah, don't worry. This might be a little strange, but I at least keep my word. Well, I'm back at the literature club. I was the last to come in, so everyone else is already hanging out. Thanks for keeping your promise, Aspect-chan. I hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for the fucking words that he used, Jesus. Making you dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to it. Oh, come on, like he deserves any slack. Sayuri told me you didn't even want to join any clubs last year. I don't know if you plan to just come here and hang out or what, but if you don't take us seriously, then you won't see the end of it. Okay, then how about I take everyone seriously except for Natsuki. Natsuki, you certainly have a big mouth for someone who keeps her manga collection in the club room. Natsuki finds herself stuck between saying Monica and manga. Manga is literature. Swiftly defeated, Natsuki plops back into her seat. Don't worry, guys. Aspect-chan always gives it his best as long as he's having fun. He helps me with busy work even without me even asking, like cooking, cleaning my room. How dependable. Sayuri, that's because your room is so messy it's distracting, and you almost set your house on fire once. Is that so? You two really are good friends, aren't you? I might be a little jealous. How come? You and Aspect Chu can become good friends too. Sayuri. As usual. Sayuri seems oblivious to the weird situation she just put me into. Game company.
My wallet is no more.
Thank you so much for the 31 bits. Yuri even brought you something today, you know? Wait, Sayuri. Eh? Me? Not really. Don't be shy. It's really nothing. What is it? Never mind. Sayuri made it sound like a big deal when it's really not. What do I do? Eh? I'm sorry, Yuri, I wasn't thinking. I guess that means it's up to me to rescue this situation. Hey, don't worry about it. First of all, I wasn't expecting anything in the first place, so any nice gesture from you is a pleasant surprise. It'll make me happy no matter what. Is that so? Yeah. Won't make a big deal out of it, if you don't want it to be. Alright. Well, here. Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a book. I don't want you to feel left out, so I picked a book that I thought you might enjoy. It's a short read, so it should keep your attention even if you don't usually read. And we could, you know, discuss it, if you wanted. This is... How is this girl accidentally being so cute? Cause it's Yuri, look at her! She even picks out a book she thinks I'll like despite me not reading much. Yuri, thank you, I'll definitely read this. I enthusiastically take the book. Phew. Well, you can read it at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think. Now that everyone's settled in, I expected Monica to kick off some scheduled activities for the club, but that doesn't seem to be the case. Yuri and Monica are having a cheery conversation in the corner. Yuri's face is already buried in a book. I can't help but notice her intense expression, like she was waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki is rummaging around in the closet. I'm really curious to talk to Yuri a little bit more, but at the same time I would feel bad for distracting her from reading. I catch a glimpse of the cover of her book. It looks like the same book that she lent to me. More than that, she seems to be on the first few pages. Crap. I think she noticed me looking at her. She sneaks another glance at me and our eyes meet for a split second. But that only makes her hide her face deeper in her book. Sorry, I was just spacing out. Mutter this, sensing I made her uncomfortable. Oh, it's fine. If I was focused, then I probably wouldn't have noticed in the first place. But I'm just rereading a bit of this, so... That's the book you gave me, right? I wanted to reread some of it. Not for any particular reason, just curious. How come you have 2 copies of the same book? Well, when I stopped at the bookstore yesterday... Oh, that's not what I meant. I mean, I just happened to buy 2 of them. So basically, she has a crush on me. Let's just put it that way. Ah, I see. There's something fairly obvious here that Yuri isn't telling me, but I decided to let it go. I'll definitely start reading it soon. I'm glad to hear. Once it starts to pick up, you might have a hard time putting it down. It's a very engaging and relatable story. Is that so? What's it about, anyway? Well, Yuri closes the book and scans her eyes over the back. The book is titled Portrait of Markov. Oh, okay, because I was, like, watching Bijou Mike's video on this. Like I said, I watched, like, the first 5 minutes, and they said something about Markov, and I don't remember what that is whatsoever, but apparently it's a book. There's an ominous-looking eye symbol on the front cover. Alright, I just wanted to make sure I don't accidentally give anything away. Basically, it's about this girl in high school who moves in with her long-lost younger sister. But as soon as she does so, her life gets really strange. She gets targeted by these people who escaped from a human experiment prison. That sounds like fucking... God, what's it called? That fucking Batman story. The Children of Arkham, that's what it is. And while her life is in danger, she needs to desperately choose who to trust. No matter what she does, she ends up destroying most of her relationships, and her life starts to fall apart. That's kind of dark, isn't it? Yuri made it sound like it was going to be a nice story, so that dark turn came from nowhere. Are you not a fan of that sort of thing, Aspect Sean? No, it's not that. I mean, I can definitely enjoy these kinds of stories, so don't worry. I hope so. Yeah, I totally forgot that Yuri's into those things.
Just realized you retarded Kappa.
How dare you? She's so shy and reclusive on the outside, but her mind seems to be completely different. It's just that those kinds of stories, they challenge you to look at life from a strange new perspective. I can't read. When horrible things happen, not just because someone wants to be evil, but because they have their own goals, or their own philosophy that they believe in. Then suddenly, when you thought you related to the protagonist, they're made to be naive and... to be the naive one for letting their one-sided morals interfere with the villain's plans. Not again. I'm sorry. Hey, don't apologize. I haven't lost interest or anything. Well, I guess it's alright then. But I feel like I should let you know that I have this problem. I'm a drug addict. When I let things like books and writing fill my thoughts, I kind of forget to pay attention to other people. So I'm sorry if I end up saying something strange. And please stop me if I start talking too much. I really don't think you need to worry. That just means you're passionate about reading. The least I can do is listen. It's a literature club after all. Well, that's true. In fact, I might as well get started reading it, right? You don't have to. What are you saying? Just a moment ago you said you were looking forward to it. Let me just get the book. I quickly retrieved the book that I had put into my bag. Alright, it's fine if I sit here, right? I slip into the seat next to Yuri's. Man's getting cheeks! Are you sure? You seem a little apprehensive. I'm sorry. It's not that I don't want you to. It's just something I'm not very used to. That is, reading in company with someone. I see. Well, just tell me if I end up distracting you or anything. Alright. I opened the book and started the prologue. I soon understand what Yuri means about reading in company. It's as if I feel her presence over my shoulder as I read. It's not a particularly bad thing. Maybe a little distracting, but the feeling is somewhat comforting. Yuri is in the corner of my eye. I realize that she's not actually looking at her own book. I glance over. It looks like she's reading from my book instead. Sorry, I was just... Yuri, you really apologize a lot, don't you, you fucking Canadian? I do? I don't really mean to. Sorry. I mean... Here, this should work, right? I I slide my desk until it's up against Yuri's, then hold my book more between the two of them. I suppose so. Yuri timidly closes her own copy. Once we each lean in a little bit, our shoulders are almost touching. It's like my left arm is in the way, so instead I use my right hand to hold the book open. I guess that makes it kind of difficult to turn the page. Here. Yuri takes her left arm and holds the left side of the book between her thumb and forefinger. I love this shot so much. It's so clean too, like it's so HD, I love it. In the last game it already looked good, but this, it's so polished. I do the same with my right arm, on the right side of the book. That way I turn the page and Yuri slides it under her thumb after it flips to her side. But in holding it like this, we're huddled even closer together than before. It's actually kind of distracting me. It's as if I can feel the warmth of Yuri's face, and she's in the corner of my vision. Are you ready? To turn the page. Sorry. I think I got a bit distracted for a second. I glance over at Yuri's face again, and our eyes meet. I don't know how I'll be able to keep up with. That's okay. You're not as used to reading, right? I don't mind being patient if it takes you a bit longer. That's what she said. It's probably the least I can do, since you've been so patient with me. Yeah, thanks. We continue reading. Yuri no longer asks me if I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I just assume that she finishes up the page before me, so I turn it by my own volition. We continue the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning the page almost feels like an intimate exchange. Send pics. My thumb gently letting go of the page, letting it flutter over to her side as she catches it under her own thumb. Hey Yuri, this might be a silly thought, but the main character reminds me of you a little bit. You think so? How does she? Well, I guess she's more blunt in a lot of ways, but she also second guesses all of the things she says and does. Like she's afraid she'll do something wrong. It's not like I can see into your head or anything, but they're kind of reminiscent of some of your mannerisms. I see. Yuri remains silent for a moment. But Aspect-chan, that's probably a terrible thing to have in common with her. That's so embarrassing that you think that. Wait! I didn't mean it in a bad way or anything. Sorry, I really didn't know you were self-conscious about that sort of thing. I guess I'm more meant that it's kind of cute. What are you saying all of a sudden? Okay, everyone. I think it's about time we share today's poems with each other. We might not have enough time if we wait too long. Yuri exhales, spared for finishing her thought. Is that alright, Yuri? You look kind of down. I'm sorry if you haven't been looking forward to this. It's not. It's fine. Yuri releases her hand from the book, causing it to close on top of my thumb. Alright. I guess I'll do some more reading tonight. Or would you prefer if I only read it with you? I guess I don't have too much of a preference either way. In that case, I'll read a little bit more tonight. It'll be more fun to read with you after it picks up a bit, you know? That's good reasoning. In that case, feel free to finish the first 2 chapters in your own time. Alright, I make a mental note of where I left off in the book, then slip it into my bag. By the way, did you remember to write a poem last night? Yeah. My relaxation ends. I can't believe I agreed to do something so embarrassing. I couldn't really find much inspiration since I've never really done this before. But now that everyone's ready, why don't you find someone to share with? I can't wait! Terry and Monica enthusiastically pull out their poems. Series on a wrinkled sheet of loose leaf torn from a spiral notebook. On the other hand, Monica wrote hers in a composition notebook. I can already see Monica's pristine handwriting from where I sit. Natsuki and Yuri reluctantly complies while reaching into their bags. I do the same myself. But what those poems actually are, you will find out in the next episode. I'm still not sure how exactly I'm gonna edit these videos, like I don't know how long to make them and things like that. Should I keep them like 20 minutes? Should I keep them 30 minutes like now? Should I make them an hour? You guys let me know. Either way, thank you so much for watching this video. Please let me know what you think down in the comments below. I'm really enjoying this game. It's really good. Hopefully I'll see you next time. Doki Doki forever!